Hey guys, Bartel's Bookshelf here, and I feel strange. Something's wrong. Oh no, I'm changing. Just kidding. It's now officially spooky month, so happy spooky month, everybody. And this is my cuddly little werewolf named Owain that Aaron got for me, and I love him very much. And I'll put him back over here. So I don't usually do TBR videos because I almost never end up sticking to what I'm reading unless it's for a reading event. I'm the world's biggest mood reader. I always make plans to read something, and then I end up reading something completely different. But this year, for spooky season, I decided, I want to really get into the spirit this year. So I'm trying to clear up some space. I'm finishing off a bunch of other books that I'm currently in the middle of so that I can have all of October clear for spooky month. I've gathered sort of a loose TBR here of books that I'm going to read for October. Obviously, I'm going to take a little bit of an example from Ollie, and I'm gonna don't call it a TBR. This is subject to change. Books might switch out. I might not read everything on this list. This is just kind of, as I said, sort of a loose indication of sort of what I would like to read this month. This month, to kind of get into the spooky mood. So I've got a couple anthologies here. This one I've already started. This is Halloween, edited by Paula Guran, don't know how you pronounce it. This is a very popular collection of Halloween-themed stories by, as you can see, a who's who of the writing world: Bradbury, Ligotti, Charles Dillard, Lovecraft, Stuart Onan, Peter Straub, F. Paul Wilson. Anyone who's everybody is in this collection. As I said, I've already started this. I was planning to actually read this over September, but Autumn Amore got in the way. But, spooky month is upon us, so I'm going to make more progress in this. I've already read the first few stories in this, and it's pretty fun, very entertaining, definitely carries the Halloween vibe. So far, the ones I enjoyed the most was Monsters by Stuart Onan, Pork Pie Hat by Peter Straub. Those were pretty good. So yeah, I'll let you know what I think of this once I finish. And then I've also got this other Halloween anthology that I was meaning to read last year and wasn't able to get to, but this is October Dreams, a celebration of Halloween, edited by Richard Chizmar and Robert Morrish. This is from Rock Books, a very big, reputable fantasy publisher. Once again, it's a who's who. Dean Koontz, Ray Bradbury, Peter Straub, Richard Lehman, Poppy Z. Bright, Ramsey Campbell, William F. Nolan, Caitlin R. Kiernan. There's dozens and dozens of stories in here, and what's cool about this one is that it's not just short stories, but there's little vignettes where different writers write about their favorite Halloween memories and sort of what the holiday means to them and things like that. So I would like to get to this as well. We'll see, because these are both pretty hefty collections, so I don't know if I'll be able to get to both of them, but I would like to try. So those are the two sort of anthologies I plan to read for this month. Next, I've got this R.L. Stine Fear Street book that I found in a Goodwill. This is Truth or Dare. It started as a game and ended in death. What else is there to do with all 7 of them stuck in Dara Harker's luxury ski condo? There are 3 guys and 4 girls, some of them friends, some nearly strangers, all of them trapped. A blinding blizzard has stilled the lifts, blocked the roads, and killed the phones. A game, they think, will help them break the ice. Who will tell the truth? Who will take a dare? And how far will each of them go? But then the game turns deadly. One of them, it seems, would rather kill than tell the truth. And kill again. So it's basically a slasher movie set on a ski lift with the most 90s cover art ever. I love stuff like that. I love a group of people trapped in a remote location being killed off one by one. I live for stuff like that, and it's 90s era R.L. Stine, so I'm sure this is going to be a ton of fun. Look forward to that. Next, I have this book that I just found randomly in half price, Full Moon by Mick Winters. This is not a werewolf book, which was a little bit disappointing when I saw it, but I read the back and it sounded really interesting. Full Moon. It rises up in the night sky like the eye of the devil, cold, probing, seductively evil, unleashing the darkness within our souls through violence, terror, and rage. For a young farm boy, it turns fantasies and dreams into living nightmares. For a lonely woman, it transforms feline companions into a demonic horde. For an outlaw biker, it sparks a savage race to the death. Its relentless cycle of madness is sweeping the country, gaining strength with each new moon. Only one man, college professor Keith Ransom, understands its devastating power. He alone knows that the terror must be stopped, or civilization will devour itself in a blood-drenched frenzy. But Keith Ransom has also fallen victim to the full moon. Doesn't that just sound awesome? I love books like that, like James Herbert's The Fog or Simon Clarke's Blood Crazy, where people just go insane and all this crazy shit happens and chaos just erupts. And this sounds like it's introducing sort of a really big supernatural element into it, where different sort of supernatural powers and events arise out of this mysterious full moon. That sounded like a lot of fun. Really enjoy stuff like that. Found this for $2 at half price, so I figured, why not? I'll give that a shot. I have 2 Star Trek books here because, of course, I'm not going to stop my Star Trek reading in October. I just had to find a few reads that fit Spooky Month, and I did some Googling, checked some subreddits and things like that, and I found 2 books by J.M. Dillard that I already owned that sound pretty good. One of them I've talked about before, one of them I haven't. The first is Demons by J.M. Dillard. Long before the Federation, a powerful force invaded our galaxy and almost destroyed it, a force that began with possession and madness and ended in murder. A Starfleet research expedition to the farthest reaches of the galaxy has unearthed that force once again and brought its silent evil back to the planet Vulcan. Now, Spock must defeat the demons that threaten his friends and family, or the Enterprise will become the instrument of the galaxy's destruction. So it basically sounds like Spock versus Lovecraft, and that just sounds fucking awesome. I can't wait to read that. Logic versus madness, who will win? That just sounds really entertaining, and that cover art's pretty cool and evocative. I like the colors. So yeah, I don't know, seems really cool, seems like a lot of fun. And the other one, which is one that I already talked about, is Bloodthirst, also by J.M. Dillard. A Class 1 medical emergency summons the Enterprise to the Federation outpost Tanis. There, a grisly surprise awaits them. 2 of the lab's 3 researchers are dead, their bodies almost entirely drained of blood. There are no clues, no records of their research, no remnants of their work. There is only the outpost's sole survivor, Dr. Jeffrey Adams, a man with a secret that will rock the very foundations of Starfleet, and a terrible, all-consuming hunger that will bring death to the crew of the Starship Enterprise. So it's a Star Trek vampire book. Come on, you gotta want to read that, right? Star Trek and vampires, space vampires, we're all about that. And there's also the episode Cat's Paw in Season 2, where the Enterprise crew get transported they go down to this planet that's full of gothic horror movie cliche shit, black cats and things like that, and old castles, and I might watch that during a Spooky Month as well, just to sort of further, if I'm not gonna stop my Star Trek binge, but I'm gonna make it part of the season, so those are my 2 Star Trek reads, hopefully. I was watching Crimin Ollie's recent video on diversity in literature, and a lot of the stuff he said in it kind of gave me pause and got me thinking, and I feel like I haven't been reading as diversely as I should be, and so I figured I might as well, in order to kind of rectify that situation, I should try and get some horror novels written by people of color in there. I have My Soul to Keep by Tananarive Due, but I don't know where my copy is. I have Beloved, but that's somewhere on my shelves. But I did have this on hand, Kindred by Octavia Butler. This is a very famous novel about a modern black woman, modern at the time the book was written, where she gets transported to the antebellum South during slavery, and it's about her encounters with the people during that time period and kind of contrasting comparing and contrasting modern day struggles of people of color with struggles from back then during slavery and things like that. And it's supposed to be very dark, very harrowing. I guess you could argue whether or not this is a horror novel, but a lot of people, I did a little bit of research, and a lot of people seem to count it. So, and I've been wanting to read this for a while anyway. So that's going on my TBR. Next, I have a Halloween classic that I've been meaning to read for a long time and haven't gotten to until hopefully this year. That is Ray Bradbury, The Halloween Tree. I mean, you gotta have some Bradbury, right? So I've seen the animated special that Bradbury wrote the screenplay for several times. I actually watched it with Laura and Nakia at Plot Twist last year. And I've always loved that series, that special. It's beautiful, it's lovely, it's just the perfect celebration of the Halloween season. But I've never read the original book or novella, so I figured I might as well rectify that. And this is, what better time than Halloween? So yeah, gonna read that at some point. And of course, I gotta give a shout out to the amazing art by Joseph Muganini. I mean, come on, seriously, gotta give it up. Another sort of modern horror classic that I've been meaning to read for a really long time, and also kind of fits into sort of my wanting to expand to read different types of scary books over Spooky Month. I love ghost stories, but I didn't really have one that I was that I had in mind for this month until I remembered I had a copy of A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, or Paul Tremblay, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm going to say Paul Tremblay. I was thinking about this again recently because the adaptation of his book, Cabin at the End of the World, is coming out soon, and that reminded me that I had a copy of this, and as I said, I love ghost stories, and this is supposed to be a modern classic. Lots of people love it. Stephen King blurbed it. It's been all over the place, and I've never read it, so I'm going to try to read it this month. I honestly don't know much about this, except that it's about a 14-year-old girl who exhibits signs of schizophrenia, and they believe that she's being possessed by ghosts or something like that. And it's kind of about the emotional trauma that she undergoes as they try to sort of exorcise this head full of ghosts. That's really all I know about it. I think there might be queer themes in it, but I'm not sure. I know there's queer themes in Cabin at the End of the World, but I don't know if there is in this. But still, heard a lot of great things. Looking forward to read that. Always been wanting to, so hopefully it's good. Hopefully I like it. Now, Full Moon wasn't a werewolf novel, but being that werewolves are my favorite creature, this is I'm wearing my ubiquitous werewolf shirt. Being that werewolves are my favorite creature, I wanted to read some werewolf books, so I just grabbed a bunch that I had of just laying around on the shelves nearby, and I've got 4 here that I would like to get to during Spooky Month. The first here is Wolf Tracks by David Case. This is a very sort of occult horror paperback from the 80s. This was republished by Valancourt recently, so it's, they tend to republish sort of hidden gems or sort of lost, forgotten classics in the horror paperback genre, and I found this for really, really cheap at half price. A killer stalks the city's streets. Only a crazed beast could have committed the ghastly murders that are terrorizing the city of Toronto. The victims are usually young women. Their bodies have been hideously mangled as though by the fangs of a rabid animal, yet witnesses swear they've seen the hulking figure of a man nearby, but everyone knows there's no such thing as a werewolf. Sounds a little bit generic, like mysterious murders are happening and oh my god, it's a werewolf, and when we all know it's a werewolf because the book's called Wolf Tracks, but I've heard a lot of good things. It's got sort of a cult reputation, so I'd like to read that at some point, and I love werewolves, so I have to. I'm legally required. Next I have this one that I just ran across totally randomly. I think someone on one of the Discord servers I was on posted this a while back. This is number 4 in a series called Slug Pie, which I guess is like a series for like kids. But this is How to Protect Your Neighborhood from Circus Werewolves by Mick Bogerman. There's a good reason kids are scared of clowns. When the circus comes to your town, better watch out for the clowns with jagged teeth, pointy ears, and foul breath. They just might be werewolves in disguise, waiting to devour everyone in sight. Once their hair-raising howl cuts through the night, you have 2 choices. Run and hide and hope for the best, or follow my simple steps for how to protect your neighborhood from circus werewolves. Together, we'll turn Grandma's silverware into powerful weaponry and hunt down the fearsome canine pack before they make meat snacks of the neighbors. So, come on, doesn't that sound awesome? It's combining 2 of my favorite things, circus stories and werewolf stories. Circus Werewolves and that cover art. That cover art rocks. So yeah, I meant to read this last year, and I never got around to it, so I definitely plan to rectify that this year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Next I have another one. I think I picked this one up randomly at half price as well. I'd never heard of it or the author before, but this is Carnivorous Lunar Activities by Max Booth III, published by Fangoria, apparently. Ted and Justin were once best friends, but over the years they've seen less and less of each other. Now, something's wrong with Justin. He can't sleep, he can't think straight, and he certainly can't explain why he keeps waking up naked and covered in blood. Ted might be the only person who can save him, assuming he's okay with shooting his childhood BFF with a silver bullet. But that's what friends are for, right? So, yeah, I saw this. It's a werewolf story. I was intrigued by the fact that it deals with this childhood best friends. This very intense friendship. Maybe a little bit of bromance. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it sounds really cool, really interesting. As it says here, from Max Booth III and Fangoria comes Carnivorous Lunar Activities, the ultimate werewolf bromance. So, come on. That sounds great. I really hope that's good. Really looking forward to that. Werewolf bromance, I'm always here for that. And then finally, I have this book that I talked about previously. This is Howl by Shaun David Hutchinson. I've reviewed 2 of Shaun David Hutchinson's books previously, We Are the Ants and At the Edge of the Universe, and I loved them both. I think he's a great queer YA author. And when I found out he was coming out with a book about a gay werewolf kid, of course I had to buy it and read it. I think this came out last April. And I bought it when it came out, but I haven't read it yet. Halloween's around the corner. Spooky month's here. I mean, there's no better time, right? I've got to read this. So, and that's my tentative October Halloween TBR. As I said, this list is subject to change. I might read some of these books. I might not read some of these books. I might sub some books out depending on what mood I'm in. I'm trying to leave things open rather than sticking to a strict schedule of, I am going to read this. But there are a few things that I do really want to get to this month. And I'm really excited to dig into Spooky Month and to really get into the vibes of the season and really just soak it up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, let me know. What did you think of them? Would you recommend them? Did you like them? Talk to me. Let's get spooky. And let's all wave goodbye to Owain. He says goodbye, and I hope you all have a really great spooky month upcoming, and I look forward to seeing what the rest of you have in store. So yeah, until next time, see you guys later. Bye.